let's fill our cups. Commander disc in hand, the battle's about to start. A podcast for the legend, where magic meets the heart. Commander Pod, where the stories unfold. With heroes and villains, new and old. Duncan and Sloan got the word. In the world of EDH we play.
Hello everyone, welcome again to Commander's Pod. I'm your Podfather.
I'm Sloan.
And we are Jeffless once more.
Yes.
He is flying back today, so...
Yeah, unexpected work trip, I think, or something. So
next episode, he should be back.
Yes.
So today we're talking about the saltiest things in Commander.
Yeah, I mean, this is something we kind of refer to a lot, and if you were paying attention during our episode a couple weeks ago when we were talking about color combinations, the best two color combinations, one of the things that Jeff brought up was the salt rating. For those who are unaware of what we mean by salty, essentially, this card comes out and a little bit of you dies on the inside.
Or this thing happens.
Or this thing happens and a little bit of you dies on the inside. Or you're immediately filled with a white hot rage of 1,000 suns.
Yeah.
Like, it's just whenever you see a card or a play happen or something happen, it immediately just invokes you with a little bit of frustration. To the point sometimes of where, even though it's not the right thing to do, you still do the bad play just because you're so frustrated about what happened or what the card is or whatever the case may be.
Or sometimes it comes out outside of the game and somebody says something they regret or so, you know.
Yeah, so saltiness is something that, you know, if you've been in the game a while, you're probably aware of it. If you're newer to the game, if you've ever played a card and people are like, dude, what the heck, that's probably a salt-inducing card.
Right. The other thing is there can be salt over something that nobody else would get salt over, but because you play with certain people all the time,
You're right.
and they do this thing all the time,
Yeah.
for you it's salty. We're not talking about that stuff. This is the stuff that kind of is widely recognized.
And I will say, there is justified salt. There are certain things that, you are okay to be salty over this, because this is not okay.
Yeah.
So we'll hit on all those.
We'll hit on them. For the cards, I used EDH Rec because they have a salt meter sort of thing. So I went by what their top ones were. Mm-hmm. Let's get into it. So salty cards. So these are the cards that, you know, they're not commanders, but they're other cards.
Yeah, these are going to be commonly found in the 99. These are cards that a lot of people will say, if this hits the field, it's pretty immediate in their response to this is either going to just ruin the rest of the game because it's going to make it no fun, or it's something that they're going to use all of their effort to get rid of.
Yep. First one is Stasis. 1 and a blue enchantment. Players do not get an untap phase. During your upkeep, pay a blue or destroy Stasis. That's for the person that played it. So you have to keep coming up with a new blue source. You got to keep playing land or have ways to cheat getting your stuff. You know, a common combination with this is if you're playing green-blue and you play Seaborn Muse.
Yep.
Well, I don't need to untap on my turn. I untap on all the rest of your turn.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
But this is really salty because nobody's playing Magic.
Yeah, and this is one of those things where a lot of the cards that are going to be in this category specifically, you're going to notice a trending theme, which is quote-unquote stacks. So they're going to do something near kind of what we consider a stacks concept, which is...
they're all pretty much stacks, but there's the two kinds. It's not like, you have to pay more.
Right.
No. Those are the friendly stacks.
Yeah, this is the stacks where it's like the taxes, you don't get to play the game until I say we're allowed to play the game again.
Or very, very limited.
Yeah, you get to play something.
Itty bit.
Yeah, you get to do one thing that I say you're allowed to do.
Yeah.
You know.
The next one's Winter Orb. It's an artifact for 2 of any color. A player may not untap more than 1 land during their untap phase of each of his or her turns.
Yeah. Again, not allowing people to play the game the way they want to, so they have to pace themselves, or you're forcing them like, I'm going to do a turn, and then I can't do anything for 4 turns because I have 1 mana. Now, with that being said, the green player with Gaia's Cradle and 75 elves out does not care. They're like, okay, I get to untap a Gaia's Cradle.
Yeah.
It's, you know, I still have 75 green mana. You know, so this is a little bit more geared towards the people who are not really prepared for it. This one's pretty rough. If you've ever come across this one in the wild and it's your first time experiencing it, For the most part, there are times where people will say, well, my deck's kind of built around my commander, so I don't have him out, I'm not going to have a good time. No one has a deck that's not built around mana.
So there are some dredge decks.
Yeah, but still, even with that being said, they still have mana to use at some point. They need it eventually. Like, they have to do something.
I mean, they do. There is one specific deck which is just kind of like a gimmick deck.
Right.
With his name's Hogak or something like that, and he's a dredge commander. Why I keep saying dredge?
Yeah.
But other than that, one deck that like 4 people in the world play.
Yeah. It's not fun to not have lands.
Yeah.
So that's another one for sure you're going to come across.
And it's like it's a little bit better than Stasis because you get to untap 1 land.
Right.
But usually they have ways to get around it so that they're untapping their stuff. You're just not.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
The next one is Static Orb.
Yeah.
3 of any color. Players cannot untap more than 2 permanents during their untap. Do you notice the trend here? The first 3 cards, and by the way, all 3 can go in the same deck.
Yeah.
And often do for those
because they're trying to keep people
less than upstanding members of the Commander Society, shall we say.
Right. I mean, again, these are things that are going to slow down the game exponentially because they're forcing everybody to play at a pace that they're probably not built their decks to play at.
Or not play.
Or they just don't, they just don't get to play because it's like, I have to choose 2 permanents now every turn, which 2 I want to untap. Like, do I want to untap 2 lands? Well, if I don't do that, then I'm going to hit in the face with this guy's creature that he's been building up the entire time, and he's probably going to want to, it's really... It gets out of hand quickly. Yeah. So, anything that keeps people from being able to untap or play the game, you're definitely going to have a salt level reach the table. I would say, if we're going to use your little scale here of salting, you're definitely in the dehydrated inducing. Dehydration.
I had originally come up with the scale
of
saltiness. Now, when I decided to just look at EDH, there's not really a scale.
Right.
They had a ranking, but there's not a scale. But the scale was like a hint of salt, just a little bit. Salty, like, ooh, okay. Dehydration inducing.
Right.
And then Lot's wife, which for anybody that's not familiar with the Bible, Lot's wife was turned into a pillar of salt.
Yep.
So that's the
That's it. Yeah. Full salt, 100%, 110% even maybe.
I have felt like Lot's wife sometimes at a table. I have to admit, like there's some things that have happened. It's like.
Right. I would definitely say that these first 3 are probably the dehydration inducing.
I mean, and a combination of them is Lot's wife.
Yeah, if you have all 3 of these in your deck and somehow manage to get them all out simultaneously, like, no. Like, please don't.
And of course, the way to play is you play the one where you can untap 2 things.
Right.
Then the next turn you play the thing where you can only untap
the one.
The one land. And then you play the thing that, no, you're just not untapping it.
Yeah.
So you give them a little taste of freedom. And you're like, oh, remember the good old days when you could untap 2 things?
Yeah. Guys, remember, look, you know what? Because I'm so generous, I'll get rid of the one that doesn't let us untap at all. Yeah. I'll be nice. We're back to 1, guys. Calm down. So.
So the next one, we're not in the tap land or untap stuff. Yeah. This is expropriate.
Yeah.
7, a blue and blue sorcery. Starting with you, each player votes for time or money. For each time vote, take an extra turn after this one. For each money vote, choose a permanent owned by the voter and gain control of it. Exile, expropriate.
So, I will say this. This one, I know a lot of people have it very high in their saltiness. I don't think it's nearly.
I don't either. But the reason it is because it's like, would you rather lose a thumb or a finger?
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, both things are pretty bad.
Yeah, no one wants to do either. But if we had to choose...
The correct answer is let the person have a permanent. Now, again, going to those less than upstanding members of society, those that play, as they call it, dirty magic, they're going to take your land.
Yeah. Yeah, they will 100% steal your... Because I believe they get to choose.
The person who casts gets to choose.
Yeah, the person who casts the spell gets to choose. So you don't even get to say, I'll let you take this permanent. No. You're saying, I have an open board.
Yeah.
Take whatever you wish, my lord.
Permanent, not non-land permanent.
Correct.
So the real dirtbags are going to be like, you don't need that land.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what they'll do. Or they'll be like, hey, remember how you told me earlier that your whole deck revolves around your commander? Yeah. yoink.
Yep.
And you'll be like, cool.
Yep.
This is fun. So
I get why, but
Yeah.
for me, it's not that
and
salt-inducing.
the big reason why too, I think it's not so salt-inducing. It's 9 mana.
It's 9 mana.
Guys.
It's a game ender to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, at that point, game's over. If somebody, because they're going to give themselves an extra turn, they're probably, if they have 9 mana already.
That is the other thing too, guys. Is each player has to vote, and then whoever casts it gets to do each time whatever the vote was around the table. So the first person who casts it always says time, so they get an extra turn. It's just a matter of if they're going to get 2, 3, 4 extra turns, or
And the
2, 3.
crazy thing is, most people give the extra turn in my experience.
Yeah, they do. People really love their cards. They love how they look on their side of the table.
Yeah, they don't love how they look on your side.
Exactly.
And so, Tim, put up the full art version when you put this up, because I mean, it kind of looks like one of the hands has salt and the other has money.
It almost does.
It
Yeah,
almost does. It's supposed to be sands of time. But
Yeah.
that could very easily be salt.
Yeah, the salt of time, because that's basically what you're doing when you give somebody extra turns, is you're just creating salt. That's all you're doing. But yeah, I would definitely say, in my personal opinion, though, because it is, I do see this as a game ender. If someone's casting this spell, they're winning the game, period.
They should.
Yeah, they should be. There is no question about it if no one has a response.
You're either going to get a bunch of extra turns or take the best of everyone's permanents.
Right. Now, I will say there has been a time where I got to cast this spell, but I did not actually own the spell. I countered the guy who cast it. It went to his graveyard. Then I got to cast like one instant or sorcery from his graveyard, and I cast that, and then I won the game, which was super fun to do, by the way. If you can ever cast someone else's expropriate after you counter it.
So again, I wouldn't put myself in the dirty magic pool.
Right.
But I dabble.
Sure. You
Usually
dip
it's
your
in
toe.
a deck when it's ridiculous anyway, so
Right.
what's one more ridiculous thing? Let's just
Right.
push it. So I really want this to go off in the dragons I'm building from the Strixhaven set, because I want to give it, storm, casualty, cascade.
Miracle cost. You do it on someone else's turn.
Yes.
Just to screw with them.
Yes.
Dude, that's so gross.
Yeah. All right. So the next one, we're back to some tapping issues. Vorinclex, Voice of Hunger.
Yeah.
6 a green and a green, legendary creature, Phyrexian Praetor, 7/6. Trample. Whenever you tap a land for mana, add 1 mana of any type that land produced. I mean, that's not that salty, right? Pretty strong.
Yeah.
Not that salty. But when an opponent taps a land for mana, that land doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem. And now this is the one that can be a commander also. So not only could you see this in the 99, you could see this chilling in the command zone.
And actually, I dipped into that by mistake. So that spoiler alert, that's the first one of the commanders.
That's the commander.
So the last one in this one is Armageddon, 3 and a white, destroy all lands.
Yeah.
Basically, hey, whatever we have out that isn't lands, sure, but let's start our lands over. Let's start with 0 mana.
So there is a deck that this famously goes in. Kalia, I believe, is her name.
Yeah.
The white, black, red human that basically whenever she attacks, you get to put an angel, demon, or dragon from your hand into play, tapped and attacking. So essentially what happens is you cast Kalia.
And then you blow up the lands.
And then you
blow
blow up all the lands because you don't need mana anymore. So
now
why
nobody
should
has
else?
lands to stop you with. They can't cast something to destroy your commander or something.
Right. So this famously goes in that deck. Now, again, I will say it's part of the win condition. However, you can kind of see it coming. Just don't let them get their commander out. It's pretty simple. If you counter their commander and keep killing their commander over again,
they won't Armageddon.
Yeah, and especially if they do Armageddon and then you immediately blow up their commander, then they're really in trouble.
And so I would say if you are playing heavy stacks like those ones that keep everybody tapped down, or you are playing mass land destruction like that, like all the lands are going bye-bye, warn people. It's less salty if you warn them ahead of time. When it comes out of nowhere,
right?
Whoo,
yeah, it's not great. I mean, so what I will say too, another one that probably goes in here that a lot of people talk about, also land related, Blood Moon. People hate that card with a passion.
But when you compare it to you can't untap, then Blood Moon's not so bad.
Yeah, because at least you're still getting mana.
Yeah.
Like Blood Moon is, I believe, 2 red, all non...
2 and a red.
2 and a red. Oh, it's only 3. Okay, so 2 and a red, all non-basic lands are mountains.
Yep.
So, your Gaia's Cradles, especially all these space station ones that they came out with in the set that basically are Gaia's Cradles adjacent, based off of different types, like the blue one that's for artifacts.
I mean,
the
the
white
Gaia's
one.
Cradle deserves to be a mountain.
It does deserve to be a mountain. So it just basically turns them into mountains, so they tap for red. It really, really messes up people that run very, very heavy non-basic, even unnecessarily heavy.
So I used to play a lot because I am a basic guy. I
Yeah.
play basics a lot, at least 80% basics in most decks. 5-color deck, you can't do it. But that's where it gets tricky. It is mean when you consider that in order to play a $3, $4, $5 colored deck correctly,
Yeah.
they need those dual lands. They need those fetch lands. They need
Right.
none of that works with Blood Moon. They are all mountains.
Right, and so that's why a lot of people get salty about it, because they're like, "This is ridiculous. You're turning off like 60% of my land base." And it's like, I get that, I understand that, but it's only one card that's doing it. And so for me, again, it's not as salty. It's not as salt-inducing.
Right.
I definitely lean more on Duncan's side to this, where I run a little bit more basics in like my 2 and 3 color decks. I probably have more basics than I do non-basics, and specifically because I want to make sure that I don't put myself in a position where I don't have a situation like this happening, where
Right.
I don't have the right colors now because I'm relying so heavily on multicolored. Even in my 4 ones, I'm still like 50-50. I'd be like 15 non-basics and 15 basics still, even in a 4-color deck. I would stay pretty close to that, even like maybe 16 or 17 basics.
And just a little, rules thing.
Yeah.
Just kind of go with this while we're talking about Blood Moon. The trick is timing. So if somebody has a Blood Moon out and then you play, like, let's say, a Urborg Tomb of Yawgmoth says everything swamps, because of the timing rules, yours will override the previous.
Right.
If the Urborg's out first, then the
Blood Moon.
takes effect. So just kind of remember that's how that works. So there is a way to get around it if you have the right cards. But anyway.
Right.
Let's get into the commanders. So like I said, Vorinclex, Voice of Hunger is the first one.
Yeah.
So you get double mana. Everybody else gets to use their mana every other turn.
Yeah. He's definitely a guy that I target a lot whenever he hits, because a lot of times this is a guy that's going to try to win the game for the person, because I think he's 6 or 7 mana.
6 and 2 blue, green. It's 8 mana.
8 mana. So he's an 8 mana guy. So when he's dropping and he's green, he's a mono green guy.
Yeah.
You know that the mono green person, who probably already has a bunch of mana,
Yeah.
they're trying to do something real gross if they're trying to triple or double it or whatever
Yeah.
it is.
And then you play like the Nyx Bloom Ancient.
Yeah, and then it gets...
And then the enchantment that does it again. So now you're ×2, then ×3, then ×3.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he definitely is an issue for sure. He's scary when you see him sitting in a command zone. Granted, he's mono green, so you kind of have that going for you. But at the same time, this is kind of what green cares about.
Yeah.
Like, I want a bajillion mana on my turn to just cast some.
Yeah, and I
nasty
probably
stuff.
ramped for the past 7 turns in a row.
Yeah, I've ramped for 3. I mean, I can't tell you how many times in a game where we're playing with Jeff, the first 3 turns, he's already got 8 mana out by turn 4, or 9 mana out by turn 4. Because if he has green in his deck, he's got a lot of ramp to go with it.
Yeah.
So, it's definitely something that I could very easily see getting out of control quickly, and that's why, again, he's considered more salty, on top of the fact that not only is he accelerating your own mana, he's decelerating your opponent's mana.
Yeah.
It's just like, you got to be kidding me, dude. So that's why single target removal exists, aka Sword Splasher.
Yeah. Yep. So the next one I have, it hurts me that this is the next one. It hurts. It's Jin-Gitaxias Core Augur, my favorite commander.
Indeed.
And it's not because he's dirty, he's my favorite. It was just I was like, can you make this viable with a 10-cost commander?
Yeah.
That is a ridiculous amount of mana.
And
to pay.
three blue pips or 2?
Two
blue
blue
pips.
pips. Yeah, no, you can. And I've gotten him out turn 4. And I get it, sort of, but I also am like, but he's just a little guy. He's just, he hasn't got like death touch or nothing.
No, Duncan, what does he have?
He has, all right, so he's 8, a blue and a blue, legendary creature, Praetor, 5/4. He has flash. I mean, that's not so bad, right? And At the beginning of your end step, draw 7 cards. I mean, I like drawing cards. That sounds like
Yeah,
fun.
you know, who doesn't love doing that? That's for everybody, though, right? Everyone gets to draw 7 cards at the end?
No. For you guys, you get to each opponent's maximum hand size is reduced by 7.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder why
Yeah.
he's on the salt list. Maybe because he doesn't let people have hands.
Maybe.
Maybe.
But if you just play a Reliquary Tower, you're fine.
That's true.
Top Vessel.
It's true.
Decanter of Endless Water. I'll give everybody I play. I'll give you one of those. Like, you can keep your hand. It's fine. Just let me have 7 cards at my end.
Yeah. So this is a card that because of the 2-edged blade of it, which is I get to draw 7 at the end of my turn, which means I'm basically getting a new hand after I just played a whole turn. I get a whole new hand guaranteed. And then you have to lose your hand unless you have an unlimited hand size thing out or about to play it. Like it is rough. Now, I will say we have played against this deck a lot. Now Duncan did do some updates to it and cleaned it up and blinged it out a little bit, so it's a little bit better than it used to be. However, with the banning of Jeweled Lotus and Mana Crypt, it definitely makes it less likely to come out on turn 4 now, which is nice.
Although
because that's 5 mana.
I do have a Mox Diamond in there, and did you know that thing has doubled in price in the last year?
I did not know that. That's
I just
crazy.
saw it's $1,000.
That's insane.
That is nuts.
It is. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
But anyway, I get it. It's sad. I feel bad that everybody hates on him. Jeff will tell everybody, though. Everybody talks about, I have to get rid of my hand. He's like, shut up about your hand. He's getting 7 cards. Even if he doesn't have unlimited hand size, he's keeping the best 7.
I do want to point out, though, so this happened in a game recently, and I looked Jeff dead in the eyes and I said, so you don't believe what you say either. Because I was playing my Ninja deck, my new one, and I got a bunch of draws because of triggers I had and stuff like that, and so someone, I think it was, we were playing with Dwayne, and Dwayne says, well, he'll have to discard down because he doesn't have a limited hand, or no, he goes like, Jeff said he'll have to discard down because he doesn't have a limited hand size, and Swanee looked at him and says, well, he gets to keep the best 7, right? And Jeff's like, and it's like, we got you.
Yeah.
Even you don't believe that in your own statement sometimes. So, but yeah, honestly, being able to kind of pick your hand and sculpt it every single turn by getting additional 7 cards, and on top of the fact that he's in blue, you already know he's drawing cards anyways. Like, he's getting to really kind of sculpt his hand and really try to seal the deal quickly with that ability, which is a big part of it for sure. So, I mean, it is a good card. Again, I don't think it's as bad as people say it is because it is a little bit slower. It's 10 mana, 8 and 2, But yes, with the flash and everything, he can kind of ruin your end of turn. If you're like, okay, I'm going into next turn, I got 7 cards in hand, I'll have responses. Great. Before we go to your end step, I'm going to flash in Jink Attack.
Now, I don't play him that way.
Right.
Mainly because I get to draw 7 cards, not because I'm worried about doing that. But I don't play him that way.
Yeah.
I don't play him with flash hardly ever.
Yeah, you do mainly do it on your turn. Yeah, for sure.
If I am going to wait, I'll actually wait the full turn until right before mine. Because then everybody's tapped their mana, and I cast him, and then so I get a full turn with him and get to draw the 7 cards, and I have mana again. Yeah. Because so many times, what's hard about him is maybe I have Expropriate in my hand, or maybe I have Omniscience, or something else I could be doing.
But because he costs 10. Yeah. He's expensive. So yeah, I get that for sure.
Yep. So the next one is Urza High Lord, our Lord High Artificer. Legendary Human Artificer, 2 and 2 blue. He's a 1/4. When Urza High Lord High, I always say High Lord High Artificer enters the battlefield, create a 0/0 colorless construct artifact creature token with. This creature gets +1/+1 for each artifact you control. Yeah. Tap an untapped artifact you control, add a blue. Yeah. And pay 5 of any color, shuffle your library, then exile the top card. Until the end of turn, you may play that card without paying its mana cost. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you can't figure out why people hate this card, it turns all your artifacts into mana rocks. Yeah. Even if they aren't mana rocks. Yeah. Your Lightning Greaves, your Swiftfoot Boots, those are all mana rocks now, and they still work when they're tapped.
And a lot of people play Howling Mind because Howling Mind, if it's tapped, then you don't get it. It doesn't affect you. So they tap it on your turn, then it untaps on theirs. They get to draw 2 cards. You
And
don't get to draw 2.
no one else gets to draw 2 cards. Then you run an unwinding clock.
Yep.
So, on everyone else's turn, you get to untap all your artifacts. So you get all that blue mana back.
Yeah.
And
even
it's
if you just use it for his 5, then you're casting things for free all the time.
Exactly. I mean, it's a card that it's like they wanted to build something for everyone to hate.
Yeah.
it's because of it's not. It has 4 abilities on it.
It has no downside.
Yeah, there is nothing negative about
It
this
only
card.
costs 4.
Yeah, it's what, 2 blue, right?
Yeah.
So it's 2 blue, but immediately you get 1 blue pip back because he creates an artifact that taps for blue. So really, it only costs 3.
And more than likely, you have other artifacts that didn't used to tap for mana, which guess what? Now they do.
Exactly. It's just, it gets out of hand so quickly. And this was a game changer. And then they took it off because they said, well, it's only a problem when it's in the command zone. I beg to differ.
Yeah,
if you put this in any kind of artifact deck,
it's a secret commander if you're doing that.
Even if I were to put it in my Tails, which is a vehicle deck, because they're all artifacts, that's insane. Like the one creature that's a 0/0 would be like a 15/15, and then all of those vehicles would tap for mana, so I can just it's just silly. It's so silly. It makes no sense on why this card is as good as it is for no reason.
Yeah.
Like. Again, Jin Gitaxias costs 10 mana, and he doesn't do nearly as much as what this guy does.
Yeah.
This guy's letting you cast free spells for 5 mana. Talk about crazy. You know what you can cast for free with just 5 mana? Anything in your deck because it's free. It doesn't matter. Like, get out of here, man. This is one of those ones I talked about at the beginning of the podcast. Allowed to be salty about. This is just a salty card because it's just really good. Very, very good at the end of the day. And so, again, as long as you're telling your play group, hey, guys, this is who I'm sitting down and playing with. If you tell me, by the way, hey, I'm playing this guy, but he's not optimized, and I see 5 or more artifacts that usually don't tap for mana, and you start doesn't matter.
You could put all stupid artifacts, all the worst ones you can think of in there. They're mana.
Yeah. They're good. They immediately become good because of the fact that he turns them into mana. And all you need to do is just keep casting spells for free.
There's stupid artifacts that cost 1, but it costs 10 to do the ability.
Right.
So they're just bad, right?
Yeah.
No, you pay 1, that's a mana rock.
Yeah. Like Colossus Hammer. I think it's 8 or 10 to equip.
Yeah. No, that's very often in there.
Yeah, because it's a 1-drop. It's a mana rock for 1. Why would you not do it? So it's, I get the reasoning. Again, if you're going to play this guy, just be honest with your group. I'm more than happy to play against Urza if I have my Prosper deck out or even my Azula deck because they're both very fast and well tuned. They could probably take care of that player or kill him or counter him because that's what they're meant to do. They're meant to be higher power. Don't be busting this guy out when people are trying to sit down and play with precon. You're just going to smoke show them so hard and no one's going to be happy with you at all. So just be honest when you're with this card. Even if he's in your 99, I would probably still tell people. I would be like, hey, listen, I have Urza in here because there's a lot of artifacts. I didn't make him the commander because he's only mono blue. I wanted to play more colors, but there's a lot of artifacts in here, so I threw him in there.
Yeah. We have somebody that puts him in almost every blue deck that has artifacts, and that comes out, and we're like, it's Urza!
Yeah.
You can't just be casually oh, it's just a card. No, it's Urza.
Yeah. It's a game swinger for sure.
Yep.
So
the next one, I do have to admit, I did build this one once just to try it. I just want to see how it.
Again, this is a dabbing of the toe in the pool.
Yeah. Hakori, Dust Drinker, 2, a white and a white. Legendary Creature Spirit, 2/2. Lands don't untap during their controller's untap steps.
Nice.
At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player untaps a land they control.
Yes, another untap 1 land guy. Except this one gets to sit in your command zone, so you can just keep doing it. Keep coming back out.
And then some people, and it wasn't me, I did not have this in the deck, do Echo of Eons, which says players skip their upkeeps.
Nice.
So then no lands untapped.
Yeah, so it's basically just no one's playing the game for many turns at a time until someone gets enough mana to deal with something, yeah.
That one's pretty bad.
Yeah, that one's bad. I think this next one, though, I hear more people hate on this card than I do any other card.
Which is funny because in reality, this is the weakest of all the cards in my opinion.
Right, but there's just something about it that just...
So it's Grand Arbiter Augustine the Fourth, 2, a white and a blue. 2/3, legendary creature, human advisor. Sorry. White spells you cast cost 1 less. Blue spells you cast cost 1 less. Spells your opponents cast cost 1 more.
Yeah, it's it's basically a Ristic study without the benefit of you drawing a card, just for the sheer fact of salt. Like that's it's just like, not are you going to pay the 1? No. Did you pay the 1?
Yes.
And it's just like, there's something about it when you're like, I have to pay 2 for a Swords to Plowshare. Like, I'm going to punch a hole in the wall.
I have to pay 2 for my Soul Ring.
I got to pay 2 for my Soul Ring. I got to pay. It's just like, oh my gosh. It's like,
because it's like you're doing the math on how you can, go about your game, and then that's played, and it's like, wait, so now that's 1 extra there. Well, now I can't afford to pay my second spell now.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where I can't tell you how many times, because I did build this deck when I first came into Commander, because I saw them and I was like, oh, that's cool, like all my white spells and blue spells, so I'll try to focus on like making all white and blue spells in here, so they're all 2 less basically. And the amount of times where you have to look at somebody and say, hey, I noticed you didn't pay the extra 1, and they're like, what are you talking about? It's like, you got to pay 1 extra. And because again, it's not creature spells. It's not any spell is 1 extra.
Oh, you know what? Those free spells?
Yeah.
They cost 1.
Yeah, they cost 1. Your 0-drop rocks? Yeah, no, they cost 1.
Yep.
They are not free.
In fact, let's pretend you have Omniscience out.
Yeah.
Your spells cost 1.
Yeah, it's just like, you've got to be kidding me. And
so it depends on timing. But.
Yeah, so it's one of those things where, again, at the end of the day, I think it's because of the fact that it basically is a force. Because at least with Ristic Study, you're kind of given the choice. Am I going to give them the card advantage, or am I going to deny them the card advantage? This, there is no choice. You are either paying it or you're not casting that spell. That's the only 2 options. There is no... Yeah, it's it. So I think that's the biggest reason why this one does have so much salt and so much hate for it, is because it slows everybody else's game down and it expedites your game very close to what kind of like Vorinclex does, right?
Yeah.
Vorinclex, it makes your game go faster because he's letting you get double mana. This is letting you have 2 different colored casts cost 1 less for you, and then making everyone else, period, cost more.
And by the way, if that spell you're casting when you own this is white and blue, costs 2 less.
Right, exactly. So that's the big advantage of this, because a lot of really good spells that are in white and blue that you're probably going to be comboing with this, making them 2 cheaper is a big deal to kind of help expedite your game plan.
So the dirtiest version of this, I heard.
Yeah.
Clones. You play the stuff that makes it non-legendary, like Sakashima.
Yeah, all 3 of them or whatever it is.
Mirror Box, Mirror Gallery. No, there's more than that now. There's like 7 or 8.
Well, the Sakashima specifically.
Yeah, Sakashima.
I think there's 4 of them.
Well, there's Sakashima Student.
Yeah, there's Sakashima Student, then there's the Sakashima, the one that I have, and then there's another Sakashima, the Scholar or something like that. I think there's 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah, just with Sakashima.
Yeah, and then you have a bunch, like they've made one, I feel like they've made at least 1 or 2 every single set for like the last 2 years. They've snuck one in there.
So that's the real dirty thing, is now your spells cost 2 more, and now they cost 3 more, and now they cost 4. You're just not casting the spells.
Yeah, you're free
because
omniscience.
Once you get rid of the legendary rule, then you just cast Rite of Replication.
It's all over, and then you're just basically sitting there digging, waiting for your win spell, while everyone else can't cast anything because 1 spell costs 75 mana.
Yeah. So that was the worst version of it, I heard.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen that. The other one I've seen that also sucks is I've seen someone just build straight stacks. So because
then you play all those other cards.
Yeah, you play all the other ones where you can't untap, you can't do this, all your spells cost more, and you're just like, this is ridiculous. Like, I'm getting to untap like negative land somehow and negative creatures.
You can only cast 1 spell a turn, so even if you manage to get around it, it's like, fine, well, you just got rid of it. Next person's turn now.
Yeah, it's just, it gets really bad real quick, so... Yeah. But yeah, he's one that a lot of people, again, a lot of hate for that guy.
Yep, and I think it's deserved because of how people use them, not necessarily the card itself, because you're just paying 1 more.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I get it, it reduces how many spells you can cast, but I don't know.
Yeah.
So, are there any things that so let's talk about the salty behavior is the next. Salty behavior. So these are players or play styles or just kind of things people do which cause a lot of salt.
Yeah.
So the first one is the "Are you sure" player. And that's the player who, after anybody does anything against them, they're like, "Are you sure about that? Are you really sure that's what you want?"
Yeah.
I mean, people ask that question. Yes, it's fine, right? You can ask that question.
Yeah.
And the funny thing people do is they'll play on this and be like, "Are you sure?" Like, I'm giving you a. Are you sure you? Yeah. Oh, okay. I was just checking. But the "Are you sure" player, like, they ask you every time, like there's some big consequence. You know what I mean? Like, bad things are gonna happen. And it just gets obnoxious that I'm asking it all the time.
Yeah, and the worst part is, too, is when this person does that and they're like, you brought this upon yourself. It's like, oh, okay, I'm sorry, I'm playing the game. Like, my apologies, I'm sorry. Like, you know, and so then they do something, like they exile your creature or they target your thing. And it's like, okay. And then, like, the next person after them has, like, a Vorinclex hit the field, and it's like, bet you kind of wish you had that removal now, huh?
Yeah.
Instead of killing my 1/1 token that I swung at you with because you didn't want to take 1 damage. Like, you know, I definitely think it's worse depending on, like, how drastic the situation is. Like, you know, because, again, there are people who were literally like, I don't want to take any damage. I don't care. It's only a 1/1 token that's a human. That's going to go away at the end of turn. I'm going to exile it. It's like, that is... Why, dude? like, all right, man, whatever. You live your best life, I guess. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
You know, and like, so when it's that bad, it's definitely for sure a habit that is salt-inducing, I think, for other players too, because it's like every single time now they're basically setting the precedent. If you do anything to, I'm going to ask you, and then there's going to be potentially ridiculous consequences that are way
But even
the
if
other
there's
way.
no consequences, there's people that just keep asking and asking and dude, yeah, I'm sure. Thanks for asking.
Yeah. So I get that for sure.
The next one I call Flash from Zootopia. Remember the DMV guy?
Trust me, I'm very aware. I've been watching that movie a lot recently with the kids.
The slow player.
Yeah.
I mean, oh my word, everything they do, they just look at their hand. You know it's your turn, right? Yeah, I know. I'm gonna play a fetch land. I'm gonna go get a land. And then they look for their land. It's like, dude, there's only 40 lands at most probably in your deck. Why is this taking 10 minutes?
Right.
You've read every card 3 times, and they usually just says taps for a green, taps for a blue.
Right.
Whatever. Just the real slow player.
Yeah, and again, I think that there's an appropriate level of playing slow depending on the time of the game, right? If we're turn 1, turn 2, and you're taking 5+ minutes, I love you, and as a brother in Christ, please hurry up. Like, you're killing me here. There's no way that your hand is so complex on turn 2 that you can't make a decision in less than 3 minutes.
Unless you're playing CEDH. If you're playing CEDH, you take all the time.
And I would even say in CEDH, a lot of times their turn 1 and 2s are still pretty quick. Like, they know what they're going to do. Like, I've been, I watch CEDH gameplay, and those guys know what they're going to do. And again, a lot of them, that's all they play is CEDH, and they memorize their decks, and they know exactly if I have these cards in my hand, here's my win line, here's what I'm going for. So, they're always going to be a little bit quicker. But, like, in casual play, I get, like, if you're, shooting the breeze and you're talking to your buddies and you're cross-talking, like, everyone kind of, like, being a little bit slower just because we're catching up or chatting. Sure, whatever.
Yeah.
But, like, if we're in
everybody
game,
else takes 30 seconds on their turn.
and you're at 5 minutes, and you've taken more time than the rest of the table combined, like, you got to pick it up a little bit. But again, that changes as the game ramps up. You're getting to turn 12 and 13. There's a little bit more complexity now. You got to figure out, if I do this, it could happen this, and this happen. And so I get that.
Purely talking about the player that every turn grinds to a halt.
Yeah, it starts at 5 minutes, and it only gets longer from there as the game goes on. And, like, those are definitely, it's frustrating because, again, you don't want to make people feel like you're rushing them, but at the same time, it's also like, I would like to play the game as well.
Yeah.
If you could, just a little bit.
Dude, I already know my next 2 turns. Can I take them while you're taking your turn, maybe?
Yeah, let's get on the horse a little bit. Let's giddy up, So.
The next one, people that scoop at instant speed to deny triggers or deny somebody, value out of it.
Yeah. I much like the rolling of dice to deal damage to me from now on in a casual format, I just ignore that. I say, great, I'm still going to get all my triggers. No, you don't get them. You don't get to decide. You're not here anymore, my man. You're out of the game. You decided to remove yourself from the game.
I mean,
I'm still taking them,
it's something you can't fake, though. If you were supposed to get a creature from their graveyard or something, or something from their
Sure.
library. You
And-
know, there's things that you just can't get back.
Right, and in those instances, for sure, I would definitely appeal to the table, because there should be a known rule amongst that table when you sit down to play. Like, hey, we're not instant speed scooping, right? Just for the sake of denying people resources that they should
Right.
rightfully get, because a lot of times there have been instances even at our shop where that's happened in a game, and there's like the other players that are still at the table are like, you can change that attack so you get the trigger, and I won't block because you should have gotten that trigger because he just, so a lot of times the other players at the table will at least hopefully give you a little bit of, I guess, ease on that. But I will say this, I do also know that after that incident had happened, the other people at the table are like, yeah, you're not allowed to sit back down at the table with me. Like, if you come to sit down at the table, I'm not, for at least the rest of the night, I'm not going to play with you.
Yeah.
Because it's not fun for anybody. Like, I get you might not be having a good time and you may feel like you're getting picked on. Trust me, as someone who went on probably one of the longest losing streaks that anyone in our friend group has ever gone on, I still remember it was 9 months long. I didn't win a single game in 9 months because I just got bullied constantly. I get it. It is frustrating and sometimes it's not enjoyable. But I will tell you this, what's less enjoyable is not being able to spend time with your friends because everyone's pissed off at each other.
Yeah.
Go outside, take a break, take a breather, walk around, maybe go talk to some other people. Just don't think about the game. But instant speed scooping is never going to solve anything. I'm telling you right now, it's never going to make no one's going to feel better after you do it, including you.
Yep. You still go away angry. Like, you're still upset.
Yeah, you're still mad. You still go away angry. The rest of the table will make a way to honor that person who just basically got messed up by you doing what you did. So you didn't really affect anything at the end of the day. You just made everyone else not happy with you.
Yep.
So.
Next one is somebody that takes back their plays repeatedly.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait. I didn't mean to play. Do you mind if I pick that up? And how about the one before that?
Yeah.
Can I pick that one up?
Yeah, no, just I have a limit to certain people. If you've been playing the game a long time and you make a baby whoopsie because it's like, oh crap, I meant to put down this land. I'm sorry, can I just switch it? It's still tapped, everything's still the same. I just wanted this one out instead. Sure, whatever. It was a baby mistake, it's a casual game, it's fine. If you're a very, very brand new player, more than happy to help you out and explain to you why this is more optimal if you want that explanation rather than doing it the way you did, right? If you're a veteran player and you're trying to redo an entire turn 2 to 3 times, which we've come across before, no. The answer is no. You cannot, especially if you pass turn, no. You can't redo 2 or 3 things.
And going with this is miss triggers.
Yeah.
If you miss a trigger, most people are like, yeah, you missed drawing your card. Go ahead, draw your card.
Yeah.
But it's like, I was supposed to draw a card on his turn. I was supposed to draw. I missed 4 draw. No.
Yeah. It's just like, it's again, I'm sorry, it's unfortunate for you, but that could potentially change the entire game. Especially with one whole terse swing like that,
And I've had people like, you're like, all right, go ahead and draw your card. And they're like,
Yeah.
oh, well, if I had this, I would have done something different on my turn. Can I take that back?
No,
No,
you can't. And I will say too, like again, in casual play, it's not as big of a deal to me. Like again, if we're all kind of like kicking the breeze and having a good time, and like you might miss something because we're joking around or cross table talking or whatever. Yeah, it's whatever. We're hanging out. We're having a good time. This really gets frustrating when it's supposed to be more competitive setting. That's when this really is like, dude, no. Well, this is ridiculous. No, you know what's ridiculous? You trying to undo your turn for the 3rd time. That's what's ridiculous. Like, you've eaten up 20 minutes of the play clock on your turn. Like, dude, we can't keep doing this, And to me, that's where it's, again, there's different scalings for some of these things, in my opinion. And I definitely think that if you're a veteran player, even if you're in casual play, you're a veteran player, you're doing this a lot constantly all the time, it is a little salt-inducing. It's a little frustrating because it's like, you should know this by now. You should know that with that fetch land, you can't go get that land. You should know that. Like, it's not super difficult mechanic. It's not like trying to figure out the Bolt's trickery, which everyone reads every single time, and somehow we still get it wrong. It's not complicated. It's pretty straightforward. So, I mean, yeah, I definitely think that this is one that could get up there pretty quick especially if that person and what they're doing keeps changing. Like the one that gets me too sometimes is like, all right, I'm going to attack everything here at this way. Wait, I'm going to split these up. I'm going to do this way and this. No, I'm going to hold these. And it's like, please.
Well, especially
please.
when they're like, I'm going to attack all out there.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, well, I'm going to block your commander with my death touch. Oh, you have a death touch. Okay, wait.
Yeah.
Let me redo this.
That one gets me every time.
And then it's like,
oh, man.
dude, you saw him play it. Like,
Yeah.
So, okay, people make mistakes. Then you go to the next one. All right, I'm going to swing these here and those over there. And then they declare their blockers. And he's like, you know what? I'm just not going to.
Yeah. Like, that's definitely one that will get your blood boiling for sure, in my opinion.
So the last one I have here is the I'm not a threat parrot, as I call it. I'm not the threat. I'm not the threat.
This one is, to me, again, on a scale, but this is Lot's wife level salt inducing.
Yes.
When they are blatantly lying. Like, that to me is, I just want to, like, wring their neck and be like, dude, you have everything on the board. Everyone has nothing. Stop it. Like,
you just wiped everybody's stuff off the board.
Yeah, you just Cyclonic Rift and hit every person on the table for 25 damage. We're all sub 10 life, and you're going to try to play the I'm not a threat card right now? How about I play the I'm going to set your car on fire card? Like, it's just insane to me that people try using this tactic, and they're just blatantly lying. And the easiest way I catch people in this is I say, okay, if you're not the threat, is that not part of a win combination that could possibly be in your deck? Oh yeah, but I mean I don't have it. Okay, so what you're saying is that there is a potential that you could win the game because this card is out on the field right now with one other card. I mean I could potentially. Okay, so yeah, you're the threat. Yeah. You could possibly win the game with one other card.
Do you have no ways to draw cards? Like, are you not able to draw on your turn?
Yeah.
No, I can draw on my turn, but I got to top. Okay, so you could hit that combo?
Right.
Yeah. And especially when you're like, well, do you have tutors in there? And they're like, yeah, but I don't have him in hand. Like,
right, exactly. Like the idea, like when people are putting out really strong cards, like the one that like really upsets me, and it still makes me a little frustrated about this to this day, was I was playing a game with somebody, and I had a counter in my hand. I had the mana to cast it, and they played a One Ring, and I was sitting there. And I was thinking about it. I was like, hold on, before you move on, because you have to pass priority. And I was sitting there, I was thinking, I was like, all right, if I counter this, there's probably a good chance that's going to really keep them from being able to win the game at all. It was a casual game, so it wasn't like super intense or anything like that. But the player was like all upset. They're like, I don't have anything. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, yes, but that is a draw engine that just keeps letting you draw cards. And this is an artifact deck, meaning you can potentially draw your entire library if you get the other card out that will allow you to do that. And they're like, I mean, yeah, that's a possibility, but like I only have one card in hand, da-da-da-da. And I was like, I just don't want to listen to you complain the rest of the game if I counter this. I was like, whatever. Guess what they did? They literally comboed off and won the game right there in that instant. And I had the ability to stop them.
Yeah.
But it was, again, it was that thing where it's like, you're basically making me decide on if I want to listen to you complain for the next 25 minutes or if I rather just let you win so I don't have to listen to you complain, knowing that I could have kept you from winning. Like, you know, it's so frustrating because it is annoying. Like, I get it. If you want to plead your case and say, hey, listen, I don't think I'm the threat. I have 2 tokens out. He, on the other hand, has enough mana to literally end our entire existence because a guy is cradling 75 elves out. Maybe I'm not the issue, you know, like, but if you think I'm the problem, go for it. Like, I'm not going to stop you. And, you know, pointing out key pieces on people's boards, like, for example, pointing out when someone has a risk 6 study, some people would argue this is politicking, but I would say, hey, just so you know, whenever you cast something, if you're not paying the 1, he is drawing a card every single time. I get you want to blow up my one guy because he's a 7/7. I get that. But when you go to cast that, you don't have enough mana, he's going to draw a card. Like, you know, it's just one of those things where, to me, it's crazy that someone can look down at their board and say, I'm not the problem.
Yeah.
And
but the thing is, they don't believe it.
Yeah, they don't. There's no way that
they're just gaslighting you.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. There's just no way. There's no possible way that any of those people really believe it. And if they do, you need Jesus. I can help you out, but come on, like, don't be that person. Don't try to sit there and lie to the rest of the table, telling them that you ain't the threat, and clearly you have the upper hand based off of all the evidence that we see.
Yeah.
Just don't. You're not making anyone's life better.
We are running a little long on time, so I'm going to kind of skim through these. The last thing we have It's just salty game moments, things that happen to you.
For
and
sure.
It's like nobody's fault necessarily.
Just your
Sometimes
deck.
it's your own fault.
Yeah, it's your own deck building fault or your own decisions.
The first one is what I call mana bankruptcy.
Yep.
People have other terms for it, but I thought this was more PC.
Yeah.
But it's where you just don't get your lands. You're not really playing with everybody else. Maybe you had 3 lands in your opening hand and you never drew another one.
Right.
Maybe you made the mistake of playing a 2-land hand,
Maybe.
and that's on you.
Yeah.
Or a 1-land hand, and then that's definitely on you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's no fun to sit there and everybody else is having fun playing Magic, and you're like, pass turn, discard.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. It happens the best. And I will say this too. Even if you build your deck as correctly as anyone says you build it, and you start with the correct hand, there is no guarantee that you are getting. Because I have a landfall deck right now, and I can't tell you how many times I have not gotten mana, and there's 40 lands in there. So it still happens. Like, it still happens.
The next one's the exact opposite, mana flooding.
Yeah, all you
get is lands.
Can't cast lands.
No.
You can put them into play.
And it always seems to happen at the end of the game. You're like, oh man, I got all this mana. Okay, I've drawn a bunch of lands, but if I just get a couple spells, nope.
The worst one by far, and I think this may have happened to you. It's happened to me a couple of times. Specifically, so I'll tell a quick story. Prosper, my deck I always talk about. I think I'm down to 28 lands. I exile more lands with that deck than humanly possible. I have counted so many times. There's only 28 lands. The fact that I keep exiling the top card at the end of turn every single time, and it's always a land, is insane to me. I do not understand how that happens. And I've seen it happen to you where you get to draw 6 cards, and you just put your hands in. You're just like, there's no way. I'm like, you draw lands, didn't you? And it's like 5 of the 6 card was land, and one of them was like a mana rock. It's like, why? It happens. And again, just like the bankruptcy, the flooding happens
With
as well.
Going back to the bankruptcy for a minute, the thing that drives me absolutely, like, more salty than anything else. Like, you're just sitting there with no mana. I got 3 lands, no mana rocks or something. It's just like, okay. And then somebody mills you for 1 card, and it's a guaranteed to be a land. It is guaranteed
every time. Every time it will be a land. 100%.
And your next card, not a land.
Not a land. No. God forbid.
Every time. The next one is definitely on the player.
Yeah.
But we've all done it. Snatching defeat from the jaws of victory.
Yeah, this one's rough. Whenever you do a whoopsie and you look down, you're like, yeah, I did that wrong. I could have won the game.
Yep.
And then you just give it to somebody else.
Yep.
Yeah, that's rough.
I heard in a CEDH tournament one time when somebody played Demonic Consultation, let it resolve, and then they cast Thassa's Oracle, let it resolve, and then cast Demonic Consultation.
Yeah.
And they're like, what are you doing? Well, I'm winning. No, you're not. You let
Thassa's hit the field. It's done.
It's done. You did the scry thing. You're all done. Like, now your library's gone. Now you're gonna lose when you go to draw.
Yeah, that's rough. Mislayering your triggers. Yeah, it's rough.
I mean, that was a situation where they just didn't understand the combo they had, how it works. They just know you cast this, I win.
Yeah. I mean, something similar happened when I was in a tournament. I was playing against somebody, and he went to try to. He had an ability on the stack. He was using an instant, and he tried to cast Lab Maniac to do the same effect. I said, hey, how are you casting that at instant speed? And he is like, what? Yeah. I was like, yeah, you don't have anything that lets you cast that at instant speed. Like, how are you doing that? And he's just like, oh my gosh, I just decked myself, didn't I? I was like, yeah, you technically kill yourself because you go to draw and there's not a card there. And and I felt so bad, but I was like, we're in a tournament, man. I got to call you on it. And then sure enough, he lost that round because of it.
Yep. So, we've all had those moments where it's like, I did that wrong and now I don't win.
Yeah.
Yep. Being targeted with no board state. Now, this is the opposite of the I'm not the threat.
Yeah.
But it's like, there were times when, like, you're sitting there with no mana and no creatures and everybody's attacking you.
Yeah.
And I get it. I have no creatures, but really, you're going to kick me while I'm down?
And I will say this, because of my new ninja deck, I need triggers to happen.
Yeah, so
I'll boop somebody for a damage just so I can get the trigger for my command. Like, it sucks. It's like, hey, listen, man, you're my trigger puppet right now, though.
Yeah. But whether or not you blame the person,
Yeah.
it feels bad.
It does,
It is
yeah.
a salty moment.
It is 100%.
And then the last one, losing on the turn right before you were about to win. Like I'm talking,
Oh.
I'm going to win. I got the thing in my hand, and on your turn, right before me.
Yeah. It always stinks.
And
too.
you wait like the whole turn. You're like, okay, they didn't
stop me.
No,
I'm
they
good.
didn't stop me. I'm good. Okay, nope, they're passing turn. I'm gonna get this. Okay, his turn's almost done, and then they do it, and it's like,
Oh, that's
which is why everybody says, I would have won if you hadn't done it. It's
right.
like, and don't say that. Just keep it to yourself.
Don't say it. I mean, I'm somebody. If you're playing with really good close friends, I'm somebody that I'll always show my hand. I'll be like, you mother. They're like, what do you mean? I was like, I'll show my hand. They're like, you had it next turn. I was like, yeah, I did. I had it. It happened to me just 2 weeks ago. I was playing with Dwayne, Swanee, and Jeff, and Dwayne kills me outright, and I look at him. I was like, you are so lucky. He literally killed me with the exact amount of damage, exactly 25 damage he got off. And he goes like, was it the right play? And I showed him my hand. I was like, oh yeah, you guys are both dead on my turn, 100%. I would have had 5 unblockable creatures, double all their triggers. Like, it would have been close. It would have been game over.
And especially when it's not they win, but they kill you.
Yeah. Oh,
Like,
man.
yeah.
Oh, rough. But,
I mean, but what I do like though is there's a certain player I play with sometimes, and they'll say like, I haven't got anything. Like, look, like they really don't. Like, it's not that. And then you kill them, and they're like, yeah, I was going to win on my turn.
right. Exactly.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah, that's always fun. I mean, it's funny, but yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where, guys, salt is a real part of life.
Yeah.
But with this game, I mean, everyone's competitive. You're trying to win. You're trying to enjoy playing the game and showing off your cards and your decks. And the biggest thing I could say is just try to be respectful of the other players. You don't know what time they have or what kind of budget they have to build these decks or come out into the shop and play with people. And, if you're trying to always be respectful of everybody else, it's very rare that they won't try to reciprocate that to you. So, a lot of these things that we talked about that are kind of salty, some of them were cards, but some of them were things that you can control, play styles or things you say or how you act or how you react, Just keep that in mind, just again.
And never let it get to a personal level.
Yeah.
I mean, even when it's a dirtbag that's like deliberately sandbagging, saying I'm not the threat while playing Urza and having stasis out, it's like, even in that situation, don't make it personal. It's still a game. You'd be like, hey, nothing, against you as a person, but I don't want to play Magic with you anymore because I don't like that stuff.
Yeah.
That's not personal. It's just, but don't like call names. Don't,
it's
belittle
never
somebody.
Yeah. It's never going to benefit you to make it personal and get louder and instant speed scoop and scream at. It's never, nothing good will ever come out of that result. Only bad things will. And again, at the end of the day, especially if you're doing this with buddies, like myself and Duncan have been blessed with, and Jeff, and we have a lot of friends here at work that play now, and I have friends that I play with over Skype and video cams and stuff like that. Like, just be grateful that you have a bunch of people that actually want to sit down and do this dorky thing with you.
Yep. So these are the things that can cause salt. You can always write to us and let us know what things maybe that are particular to you. Yeah. Like a lot of times people have something like, look, I know there's nothing wrong with this. Right. It's a perfectly normal thing that many people do in Magic, but I can't stand it when they tap on cards that, even if they're their own, it drives me nuts. Yeah. Or whatever. Sure, but if you have something, write in, let us know. Yeah, absolutely. We're more than happy to review your guys' salt-inducing experiences and or cards. Yep. And if you have a really funny one, that would be good too. Yeah. Because there are some good ones out there. But that's all the time we have for today. Sloan, where can they find us? You can find us at youtube.com/@commanderspod. We are a video podcast as well as audio podcast. We also are now video on Spotify. They added that for us, for our channel. Just for us, nobody else. And we also do pack openings. So I just uploaded the Secrets of Strixhaven's one. So that is now live on our channel. If you haven't seen that yet, go back and look at that. It should be underneath the pack opening video catalog. And with that being said, also email us at cast@commanderspod.com. Comment, like, share, subscribe with everything that we do here. We appreciate it. If you have deck techs, which we just did one for somebody last week. Tyler. Tyler, if you want a deck tech, if you want suggestion, comment,
something of that nature, do that via the email. Commanderspod.com is our website. You can support us at patreon.com/commanderspod so we can keep making this great podcast. And lastly, all the audio websites that you can find us at: Spotify, Audible, iHeartRadio, Apple, Amazon Music, YouTube Music, etc., etc. And once again, shout out to Tim for helping with the editing.
Yes, thank you, Tim. You've been doing a great job.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. In the Commander Court one, he did a very nice, he paused it at a point when Jeff had asked for a pause in the recording. He kind of left him saying that in, and he said, hey, just to warn you guys, some of this gets a little loud, so you might want to turn it down.
Yeah, we definitely had fun with that one for sure.
Yeah.
If you have not seen that one, go back. That was a hoot.
Yeah, that was a good one. I want to do that again.
Yeah.
But yeah, so thank you, Tim. Appreciate it. And as always, play bold, swing wide, and don't forget to pay the one.
We'll leave on